not okay. Hello guys, I'm Bethany and welcome back to my channel. As you can tell from my voice, I have been a little bit sick. I missed my Tuesday upload. I'm hoping that this video will go up on Thursday, maybe Friday. Not sure, but I missed my Tuesday upload because I've been sick. I took a COVID test and it was negative, so I think I just have some sinuses going on. I didn't do anything at all Monday because I just felt terrible. I get like this pretty often. If you watch my vlogs, you probably know. In the spring and the fall, I get like this, but it's not really fall here yet. It's still in the 80s, so I don't really know what happened, but I'm recovering from that. Also, I feel like I need to scoot you up a little bit, but I'm very excited about today's video. I've basically become a booktube channel, unintentionally. I just love making these videos and it seems that y'all like watching them. So today I'm going to be doing a reading vlog on a single book. I've done a reading vlog before. I've done a 24-hour readathon before, but I've never done a reading vlog on one book. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. The book is Carrie Soto Is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. It just came out today. I didn't pre-order it and I don't have the physical copy because I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy it, honestly, because it is like a women's fiction. I'm pretty sure you would call it that. I'm not really sure about that. It's not my favorite genre. My favorite genre is romance, let's be honest. But I read all of Taylor Jenkins Reid's books and I've loved all of them. I think they're all great. Her romance ones and her non-romance ones. This one is actually in kind of a series. It's a companion novel with some of her other books, which are Malibu Rising, Daisy Jones and the Six, and The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. You've probably heard of these books. They're very popular. And this one is the last novel kind of in that series. So basically there are characters in each of the books that kind of intertwine and they're kind of told in the same like Hollywood 60s, 70s, 80s time frame. I have seen on Bookstagram a few people that I follow have gotten arcs for this book and I haven't seen a bad rating, honestly. I've not seen anyone give it like below 4.5 stars. So people are really enjoying this book. I've heard such good reviews on it, so I wanted to read it. And then I was thinking today, maybe I should do a reading vlog on it. So I asked on my Bookstagram. Most people wanted me to do it, so that's what I'm gonna be doing today. It's currently like 6:38 and I'm going to start it. I am just going to read it on my Kindle. It is currently charging because I've been reading another book today. I'm excited because I love watching reading vlogs and I thought it would be fun to have a dedicated video to this book if you are interested in reading it, because she's a very popular author and all of her books are very like hyped up and they are really good. She's a great writer. I feel like her writing is just insane, incredible. So I'm very excited to see how this book is, but I'm kind of nervous because I feel like her books kind of stir up some emotions. They're pretty hard hitting, like heavy books. So I'm a little nervous because I'm like in my happy romance era, so I'm nervous, but I'm excited to see how it is. Anyways, that's all. Let's get into this reading vlog and see how this book is. But I'm on page 43 and I am really enjoying it, honestly. It's obviously about tennis and her playing tennis, but you get like the story of her family and like relationships and things like that. I'm obviously only 43 pages in, so I haven't got much, but it's like more than tennis, so I'm really enjoying that. But I'm excited to see what's gonna happen. But I'm going to get a shower and get ready for bed and then I'll keep reading. It's not very long. It's like 360 something pages, so not too long. Good morning, guys. It is the next day. My nose is still stuffy. That's where we are. And I was reading a little bit this morning. It's like 9 o'clock. I'm about to get out of bed and get started on my day. But I'm on page 106. It's like separated into sections. So the first one is like the first time around. So when Carrie was first playing tennis, like when she was a kid, up until the 80s. And then the next one is the comeback. So she's coming out of retirement. And then the different opens, like the 1995 Australian Open, 1995 French Open, Wimbledon Open, 1995 US Open that she's competing in. So I'm currently in the comeback. I'm enjoying it. It's definitely very heavy on the tennis, but also it's interesting to see Carrie's character because I feel like she's like not a likable character. Not many people do like her at all, but I think it has to do with how she was grown up, not because she had a bad childhood, but just in the sense of the way like guys treated her and things like that. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but basically she's not a very likable character. Not many people like her, but it's because she wants to win, and I don't know, I think it's interesting. We We love a complex character. Also, I'm fried. My sunburn is still going strong. But anyways, 30% of the way through the book, and I'm excited to see what happens. I have read some reviews, and apparently there are some bad reviews of this book. But I've only seen good reviews from my bookstagram, so we shall see. But I'm going to get some stuff done and hopefully finish this book. Well, I'm going to finish this book today, but probably going to be later today. Might read some at lunch. I'm enjoying it. It's definitely not like a romance in the slightest. It's very much character driven on Carrie Soto. If you don't know, she was in Malibu Rising, and so you kind of see a little bit of that, of what happened in Malibu Rising, but like just a snippet of it. And it's kind of cool to see like the snippets of what happened in Malibu Rising from her perspective, but it's just kind of like glazed over because it's just part of her tennis career. So anyways, pretty interesting, pretty cool. That's why I have a washcloth on my head. But anyways, I'm on page 129 on the 1995 Australian Open, which is a tennis tournament. Learning a lot of the stuff, so I'm very excited, and this is pretty much what I need to do for the rest of the day. I finished what I need to for work, so now I shall finish this book. I'm here in the same spot on page 207. 56% of the way through on the 1995 French Open, and it's very good. I feel like it's getting into the, like, there's a little bit of romance, and also earlier I mentioned that she's not a likable character. I mean that in the sense of that people around her that know of her, like the newscasters and all these people in that time period, don't like her because she just wants to win, and she makes that pretty clear when she's playing. So anyways, just wanted to clarify that, but I'm enjoying it. I don't really have much to say. I feel like I'm not gonna have too many thoughts until the end, but I'm still enjoying it. I'm gonna take a break and eat supper soon. My eyes are watering. I'm on page 295. There's only like 360 pages, so like 65 pages left. And I want to show my reaction to that important moment in the book, but I won't say what it is because I do want this to be a spoiler-free vlog for someone who hasn't read the book, because it did just come out. So I'm assuming if you're watching this, you probably haven't read the book. But I was covering up the bottom because honestly, I am like a skim ahead type of person. Like if something's about to happen, I'm gonna skim ahead and see what happens. But this time I was like, no, I'm going to let it be. I'm going to read it until it happens, and I did. Okay, my dogs are losing their mind. And oh my goodness. That's all I have to say, so I'm gonna continue. I'll be back. I am unwell on page 324, and one of the things I was worried that was gonna happen happened. I'm not okay.
I'm not okay either.
I'm gonna get myself together. The book, and it was so good, but I have a headache, so I'm gonna go to sleep and give you my thoughts tomorrow because I need some time to sit on it. But I have to say that it was very, very good. Okay, that's all. So it's the next day, and I'm here to give my thoughts on this book. I am so excited to talk about it because it was just so good. I loved it so much. I gave the book 5 stars, and I just loved it so much. So I'm so excited to talk about it. First, a little summary if you don't know what the book's about. It's about Carrie Soto. She was in Malibu Rising, and she is a famous tennis player in the like 70s, 80s, 90s, and she comes out of retirement in the 90s to defend her like title. She has the most Grand Slams of anyone in tennis, and someone beats it or matches it, so there's a tie. So she comes out of retirement and plays a few opens, 4 different opens, to try to beat the record and beat this other tennis player that has matched her amount of Grand Slams. And basically you really just see like her growing up, how she got into tennis, how she came to be the best tennis player, and then she retires, and then she comes out of retirement, and it's separated in like the beginning of her tennis up until retirement, and then her comeback, and then the 4 different opens that she plays in. I loved it so much. I thought it was so good. And I've heard a lot of people say like they're not sure about it, they weren't sure about it because it's basically about a tennis player. And I felt the same way because I am a romance person. I love romance. And like fiction, literary fiction, women's fiction is not my favorite genre just because I feel like romance, I like reading about that. So whenever I read a book specifically about that, I do want a romance subplot, and this book did have that, so I really enjoyed that about the book. Basically, it had like father-daughter dynamics, some romance, also just like the character development in Carrie is just like really cool to see. She is a complex character, like I mentioned in this vlog, and she's not likable. Like the people that play her, the people that like watch her, she's not like a fan favorite. Like she's the best tennis player there ever was, but fans, like she's not a fan favorite. Not many people like her because of the way she is. She's kind of like, I'm gonna win and I'm winning because I'm the best. Like she's not the kindest person, but it's kind of fun to read that. I think she's kind of like complex and fun character to read, but you kind of just see some character development in her as the book progresses. There were two things that I was afraid were gonna happen in the book, and they both happened, so I was like, great. One of them I filmed because I was literally crying. I want to say that it was my favorite book of the famous four like books that Taylor Jenkins Reid has written. So Malibu Rising, Daisy Jones, and Evelyn Hugo. This one was my favorite. Honestly, I loved it so much. One reason specifically is because I feel like it wasn't as heavy as those other books. Like if you were to read those other books, I would give you some trigger warnings, but I feel like this one, the trigger warnings aren't that big. There's a few things that you like might bother you, but probably not. Like it's not super heavy. Taylor Jenkins Reid said it was the most fun she's ever had writing a book, and she hopes we have the same amount of fun reading the book, and I definitely got that. I thought it was a super fun book. It's a very enjoyable read. Like I'm sitting there reading it and I'm having a great time. Like it's fun to read. You want to know what happens. There are some sad moments, but I think overall it was a fun book to read. I love also how it was like separated out like in the different opens, and like the chapters kind of were shorter because you see the different like matches and things like that. I love that. And even though she was a complex character, I really liked her. Like I thought it was so fun to like get inside her head and like see who she was. And also I feel like if you've read Malibu Rising, you might have preconceived notions about who she is as a person based on what she did in that book. Even though she's not in Malibu Rising very much, but like if you've read Malibu Rising, you know who Carrie Soto is. But your perspective really shifts once you start reading this book and you see who she is and you learn about like the way she thinks, and just like obviously it's first person point of view, so you're like getting her perspective on everything. So I love that. Also, I would consider it closed door because there's no explicit scenes or anything like that. Obviously it's not a romance, but there is some romance in it. But it's closed door. There's nothing like explicit, so that's good. I love a closed door romance, and I want to start saying that about books, if it has spice or not. This one definitely doesn't, so if you don't want a spice book, this is a great book to read. Also, just a random thought I had. I need to know if Taylor Jenkins Reid like played tennis or like knows someone who plays tennis, or like just did a lot of research, because it is so detailed in like literally the whole book, especially when she's practicing and playing tournaments and matches and things like that. There's so much detail about just the game of tennis, and I'm like, did she play tennis? I don't know. I need to look that up because I don't know, but it's just like literally incredibly detailed down to like the form and like how to beat this other opponent and just everything. It was so detailed. I'm like, she had to have played tennis because it was so detailed. Like I said, it was obviously very much about her tennis career, but it was about so much more than that. It was definitely character driven based on Carrie, and I just really like that. I love a book that is character driven. Like it definitely has a plot, you know the plot, but it's driven on Carrie Soto and it's just based on her and her life, and I just really enjoyed it. I highly recommend it, and if you are interested in reading it, or if you've read other Taylor Jenkins Reid's books, you should read this one. I think it's one of the best that she's written. I can't compare it to her romance books because obviously it's nothing compared to that, but compared to her famous four books, they're in this like companion series. This one is my favorite. Those are my thoughts on this book. I've talked for way too long, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed hearing my thoughts. And if you've read this book, let me know what you thought of the book. Comment down below your thoughts. And if I should do more videos like this where I just read one book and have a reading vlog on it and just have like a lot of thoughts about one book, or if I should do like more than one book. I've done one where I did a couple books, and then I've done this one that's one book, so just let me know what you think I should do. But I'm so glad I found this video. It was such a good book. Highly recommend it. 5 stars. One of the best by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Big fan. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to subscribe. I post every Tuesday and Saturday here on YouTube. I missed my Tuesday upload this week, but usually it's Tuesday and Saturdays. I do faith, lifestyle, a lot of book content. I've been getting into that, and it's so much fun. I have an Instagram and a Bookstagram, and it's just so much fun over there. So you should follow me there if you want to do that. But I think that's it. So I'll see you very soon for my next video. Bye.